What's going on, Show Nation? It's Movie with Movie Gaming TV, back at you with another video today. And today we're going to be filling out the MLB The Show 20 server that San Diego Studio basically put out for everyone to take. So I'm going to show you how you can get to the survey to take it for yourself. I highly recommend that you take the survey. I don't think it'll take too long, and I'm going to fill out my survey in this video. Before we get into all that though, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are on the grind to 100k subscribers. Every video that we put out, we're trying to get close to that 100k mark. We're really getting close to 30k. If you want to help me out, just drop a subscription. I would really appreciate it. I can like load up the app, see how my channel is doing. It's like, oh, we hit that 30k. I want to see that 30k really bad. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure to drop a thumbs up on the video as well. Just want to remind you, drop a thumbs up. It's good for the video, helps the video out, shows support. Thank you. Okay, so let's talk about this here. We're gonna go over to the web browser here, and I'm gonna show you how to get to the survey itself. The first thing that you're gonna do is, for me, I have this in my bio so I can always kind of click the MLB The Show fast. It is their latest tweet. It says, "Thank you for being an amazing baseball loving community. Please take a moment to complete the survey about Diamond Dynasty." It is the show.gg/DD survey. The show.gg/DD survey. And you can just find it at this tweet pretty easily. So you click that and it opens up the survey. And pretty much they have the same message at the top, pretty much as the tweet. "Thank you for being an amazing baseball loving community. We appreciate your honest opinions about Diamond Dynasty player items and modes. We will be sharing your collective responses with you, the community, once these responses have been tabulated. Thank you for taking the time to complete the survey." Now, it's pretty sweet that they got this for Diamond Dynasty. I'm a Diamond Dynasty main. I consider myself someone I know just about everything there is to know about Diamond Dynasty to a certain extent because I play so much. I've been making videos on Diamond Dynasty stuff for 4 or 5 years now. So, I mean, I know Diamond Dynasty in and out. But I saw a lot of people talking today. They would like to see one of these for franchise, and they'd like to see one of these for Road to the Show. And I completely agree. Both of those things would be really sweet. If you're watching this video, MLB The Show, somehow you come across this San Diego Studio, put those surveys out. Put those surveys out as well. Get that feedback from the community. I think it's always good to get the feedback from the community on this kind of stuff because it's actually extremely valuable to take these surveys. I remember when we made I have a degree in web development and digital media. You know, I consider myself more of digital media, if anything else, just because, you know, I'm always making videos. I know a lot about social media, all that kind of stuff. The thing with web development though is like whenever we made websites, we'd always test them out, have people test them out, and it tells you a lot as a developer when you can see how people are reacting to like where you set up the menus and everything like that. It's really important to get that feedback so you can like say, oh, you know, they're not clicking on this thing. How can we move this thing to a better spot where they click it on, stuff like that. So these surveys are really important. Make sure you take this survey, and it's going to be very useful for them to see this survey. I'm not saying that everything we see in the survey they're going to go through, you know, 100%, but it just shows you the importance of doing one for franchise, doing one for Road to the Show. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this. Now, the first thing I noticed is I've already opened up this link, and it looks like there's different questions based on how I open it up. So this one starts out with your favorite showdown. This one starts off with what position gives you the most difficulty in selecting your starter. So maybe we'll fill this out twice, honestly. If they aren't different questions, we'll just have to see as we go through. So what position gives you the most difficulty in selecting your starter? Now that's a good question off the bat, quite honestly. I gotta think about this a little bit. I mean, the thinnest position, it's really difficult to find like the thinnest position this year compared to years past because we literally had so much content that I feel like this year more than any other year, literally every position has multiple players that you can play it at. There's absolutely like no joke. I'm looking at my team right now, and honestly, there's multiple players that can play at like any position. Outfield is absolutely stacked. Like I have Mike Trout, Prestige Mike Trout on the bench just for fun to use other cards. We got Soto, absolutely stacked. First base is always stacked. It always is. There's tons of options at first base. Even Bellinger could be in the outfield. Second base, just the second base, shortstop, and third base really have a lot of variety. And now at the very end, I think we have some good catchers too, with Salvador Perez, Jimmy Fox, and also Piazza. I think are 3 good add-ons. And I felt like how they boosted up Topps Now, and I'm not sure if they boosted up Topps Now this year, if only because like they're working with the brand. So like having a bunch of gold Topps Now cards, I thought it was a smart move for everybody involved to have like much higher diamond cards to represent the brand. I don't know if that's why they did it, but it doesn't really matter why. I just liked having more of those diamond. Like they have like you know, some more higher diamond catchers that you could choose from. They still have Pudge in the game. You know, there's a lot. You still have like Jorge Posada you could choose in the game. So it's tough to say catcher, but I almost feel like, you know, so shortstop, you know, we got Mondesi, we got Tatis, we got Lindor, we got Seager. I feel like I had my creative player for the longest at shortstop this year, so maybe it's shortstop, maybe it's catcher. I honestly feel like the toughest thing to get most of the time in these games are getting starting pitchers. I think it's really difficult to find like 5 starting pitchers that are really, really good. Sometimes you can find like 3 or 4 in the meta that are really good, but it's tough to find like 5 until like the very end of the year. So that's probably what I would select out of these. I guess I'm going to select catcher. The card that I want to see the most in Diamond Dynasty, you know, I made a video of like the cards I want to see the most in leading into MLB The Show 20, and number 1 is Josh Gibson. That's the card I want to see the most. So I'm going to say catcher. Maybe we'll see Josh Gibson, but I really feel like they did a good job on this. When constructing your Diamond Dynasty lineup, what is the most important element you are looking for? Power, overall rating, team balance, era, speed, team affiliation, swing, fielding, other. For me, it's power. I definitely am looking for power. When you're building, you know, when you're building a pseudo fantasy team, which is what Diamond Dynasty is, you know, like you have players from all different eras. I'd say the number 1 factor I rate into a card is power. Power and contact and combination. I want to make sure that they can hit. Above all else, that matters to me the most. You know, swing actually has I do feel a lot about swing. I like having contact with the power. That's like the ultimate. I love speed. As far as like team balance or ERA, overall rating doesn't matter to me. Team affiliation doesn't really matter to me. I'm not too picky about that, because most of my goal when I play Diamond Dynasty is basically just to win games and ranked seasons, and I don't necessarily care what team that they play for. I just want to put together I enjoy building the best team possible. That's not what everyone in the world does, but that's my own personal experience. So I'm going to go with power. All right, so it does say, what is your favorite showdown? Maybe it just sends us these in a different order. So I don't know. I'm going to take a look at some of the showdowns and try to remember a little bit, because we got so many of them. It's kind of like, it's difficult for me to remember necessarily which is which. I'll tell you this. Let's say this. The team affinity, where we get to just play the bosses and we don't have those missions in between, I really like that. I like that a lot, actually, because you can just draft the offensive team. I don't have to do any of the pitching. I don't have to. It speeds up and streamlines the process. I personally like it the most. You don't even have to worry about what position anyone's in. You just draft the best hitters and you just get to hit the whole time. I personally like that a lot. So that's kind of the way I'd roll. So that's not bad right there. Is run it back the same way. It's not. This one wasn't bad though either, just because you got the run it backpack at the very end. I'm trying to think back. Was it like 5th or 6th inning we started getting like a ball in as a habit pack at the end? Yeah, 5th inning you got the ball in as a habit pack at the end. Not too bad there. Let's see the team affinities. Nah. let's see, they do any other of the bosses only, because that's what I really liked. I think I'm gonna have to vote for, let's see, ninth inning. We got some missions, which is okay. I mean, they kind of gotta highlight the cards and stuff like that. But I think my favorite one is, I'm going to say Stage 4 Team Affinity, which I really didn't even use that much because I was able to exchange. But I think like maybe Showdown Extreme was the same way. Yeah. I really like the ones that just all you do is go against the bosses. So I'm going to say back over on here, I'm going to say Team Affinity, Stage 4, and Showdown Extreme, because... And you know, you can write more than you want to. I like when the showdowns are just the bosses and you just get to hit. Love how it's streamlined like that. Okay, so what relief pitcher player item is the most difficult for you to hit off? So who is the best relief pitcher in the game? This is a good question. Let's hop back over to the game for a second. Now this is a really good question. You want to know who the toughest is? It's probably Cheese Ball. Cheese Ball is really tough to hit off of. I think Gossage is pretty dang good. I honestly think Wagner is the best relief pitcher in the game. That's the one I personally probably trust the most. I trust Rivera a lot too. I like Chapman. I like this Kenley Jansen. I think, do I still have Rob Dibble on this team? I feel like Rob Dibble this whole year was like really good. I feel like he was really good. You know, he was just kind of that guy that was pretty locked down for most people in the community. I think he's still really tough to hit. I'm gonna go with 99 Billy Wagner though. I just feel like he's the best one. He was also really difficult to get. I would like to see those BR packs be easier to get. I feel like I'm definitely gonna have to try to go 12-0. I mean, I want that Chipper Jones really bad. I really wanted that pack to be more accessible though, just because it's such a difficult card to get right now. So I'd like to see it. I just would like to see it easier to get for everyone, because I'm going to show you something right now. Like, I've had this buy order for Chipper Jones in my active orders since the 11th of December. So the 11th of December, it's currently a month later. I'm putting them in for 1 million stubs. I'm nowhere close to getting them. I don't know if it messes with the business model of how much it costs to get these cards if you were just to put on stubs or whatever. I don't know if it messes with that. I've heard that it's like community driven content, that they can't push the BR pack to another spot. I would love to see it in an event. That's going to make a lot of people get on the game. I'll tell you right now, if they put the BR pack in the events, a lot of people are going to get on. You can put it even at like 50 wins, and a lot of people are going to get on and go after that BR pack just to get that one card they don't have. Some people don't have Wagner, some people don't have Chipper. I don't want to delude Battle Royale either, but it is just very tough to go 12-0. There are people that can do it. Anybody can, if they sit down, they practice. They're above average player. They can get it done. I know I can get it done, but it's going to be tough for me. I'm not very good at Battle Royale. But I just would like to have the ability to get those cards, because right now I'm sitting on 4.5 million. And I have other cards that I could sell easily that I don't use. And I don't know. I just really wish I could get that Chipper Jones card. I wish other people could get Wagner, get some of those cards. I really would like to get Roberto Alomar, but I'm getting kind of sidetracked here. I just feel like that's just like a little mini rants type of thing. All right, so it says, who is your favorite MLB The Show content creator or standout member of the MLB The Show community? Now, this is a really difficult question for me to answer, just because there are so many names I could put here. My personal favorite content creator that I watch a lot is Pitching Rebel. That is my favorite content creator to watch. He's been on the grind this year. He's got about like 12K YouTube subs or so, getting closer to 13K. He's the #1 Diamond Dynasty player. I've known him since MLB The Show 16. We ended up like playing against each other early, probably in like March or April, and like I remember being 4-0 in ranked seasons. I run into somebody named Pitching Rebel, and I'm feeling like good, you know what I mean? I'm using directional hitting. I'm still using meter pitching, which there's nothing wrong with doing that, but I thought I was the man. And then all of a sudden, like, I'm playing against him and the ball's just getting bombed over the wall. I lose my first game on stream. I remember I was still like streaming out the PlayStation and everything like that, and I was just like, what happened? You know what I mean? Like, what happened? Like, there's something he knows about the game that I don't. And that's kind of how I started talking to more people in the community, breaking out a little bit from my own community like 4 years ago, finding out about strike zone view and stuff like that, and zone hitting, and kind of all the meta stuff that you see today in our game. And I don't know, I've just always been a big fan of watching his streams and watching his videos. He can get very heated at times, but he can also have very what's it called, like, he's very astute with the stuff that he points out that the game needs to fix. Like, he's very tough and critical on the game, sometimes to a fault, but I know that he always means well. I know that he really cares about the game, and so I always am interested to see like kind of his feedback in that regard. He's really fun to watch play because he just hits like insane. He plays really insane. He won one of the esports tournaments. Everybody gears up to play against him, and I just think it's like I really enjoy watching his streams. He really knows baseball really well. I also really like seeing who he has in his lineups. When he likes a card, I'm always thinking like, dude, I want to give that card a try myself, because I don't know, I think he puts together possibly like the best like pound for pound lineups. And like I said, like, I like to have my lineup to be as good as possible, so I like to see what lineup he's rolling with to make my lineup, because it's like we don't always agree on like 100% of the cards. Like, I know, I bet he doesn't use like Chris Sale. I really play well with Chris Sale. Like, that's one of my favorite pitchers to use. So it's not like 1-to-1 all the time, but it's kind of like if I like a card, I see he likes the card. After a while, seeing like what kind of cards he likes, I can kind of pick up on what cards I think people are going to use on that top end. But as far as like the community, man, there's so many great there's just so many great creators in our community. We get new people every year. If you're thinking about creating content, just go ahead and do it and see if you like it. Like, I've had a lot of fun doing it for a long time. Like, you know, I got my degree in this kind of stuff. And I've always liked like editing videos, and I like kind of, you know, just making content in general. If you kind of think it's something you might be interested in, you know, go for it. Maybe you're young going out there and you're thinking about, you know, maybe take a video editing class in high school, take a video editing class in college. You know, you might be able to get to play the game, work on some of your projects for your classes, that kind of stuff. We're kind of moving into this new world of this, and I want to see more. I just want to see more and more and more and more people create content. It's good for baseball. It's good for the growth of this game. And just, if you're out there, you know, keep creating content. Just try to stay consistent. That's like the number one thing that I would recommend that you do, is try to stay consistent, so you can build up a user base that knows like, hey, there's going to be content coming, so I'm going to subscribe because I know there's going to be stuff rolling out. Interact with your community, you know, interact with your community, and you know, interact with your community is really important too. That's the other thing that I recommend. Interacting with your community, building up that base of people that you know within it, being polite to people, you know, being humble, all really important things you need to think about. But just having fun, like, you can learn a lot of different skills, you know, video editing, Photoshop, marketing. Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into being it. But please create content for our game. It doesn't matter if you have the best or the worst. It's you know, as far as like all the equipment and all that stuff, you don't have to go buy a ton of equipment. Just have fun with it. You know, stream, make some videos, make some searchable content from people, like hitting tips and stuff like that. Just go out and have fun and just grow our game. The more videos and stuff like that we have for the game, the better. And I can't say enough. Go ahead and create content, and there's so many great content creators. I can't think of one person in the community that I don't like their content. I just enjoy seeing people make videos for the game. All right, in your experience, what player item played the furthest above their attributes? That's a great question as well. Let's hop back over to the game for a second here. Take a peek. Do we hop over? Okay, thank you. Man, what card plays over their attributes? Oh man, that's really tough. I gotta think about that for a second. It almost seems like it would be a card that's like not at the 99 type of level. Gosh, that's a good question. I remember asking it a couple times on my Twitter too, and now like I'm completely blanking on who it would be. I'm starting in shortstops. This is a really tough question. I even like paused my commentary and had to think about this. I'm gonna go with Alberto Mondesi, the 85 version of him. I don't know why. I just felt like he had a ton of power. I really liked his swing. He's got like a lot of speed, good fielding. I kind of thought that this card played way above what he is. My other favorite one that I really like to use was especially in the Content Creators League, my guy was Trey Mancini. I don't know, I really liked his swing. He had that kind of like 70, 73, 78 power across the board. I kind of felt like 73 to 78 power is actually kind of like, I feel like 70 power and above is actually pretty like good. One of the weirdest things about this game is you'll think about somebody like Bronze Eric Thames, for example. I think he has maybe like a little bit over 70 power, almost like 80 power. Maybe versus righties, just like the bronze, not the really high powered Eric Thames, just like the bronze live series Eric Thames. And it's like, wow, it feels like he has a ton of power. Like I'm drafting him for BR. And then you think about a card like Ty Cobb, and Ty Cobb has 90 power both sides. Like Ty Cobb has like a ton of power by comparison. So it's kind of like, it's weird how that works out. With all that said, I think I'm going to go with Alberto Mondesi, the 85 Alberto Mondesi. That's who I'm going to answer for this question. I'm interested though to see what you have in the comment section about that one. What gold player item do you always take in BR? I got to think about this one again. I got to think about this one. Okay, so let's talk about some of my favorite gold cards. My favorite gold card in the game is Teoscar Hernandez, 84, 68, 90, 92, 65 fielding. He's got 81 speed. He's got, so he doesn't have great fielding. He only has bronze fielding and left, but he does have 81 speed. So it's like he can move a little bit to go make some plays in left. He's got a great swing. He's got excellent power from both sides. He's got decent contact versus right also. So he's kind of got reverse splits. His PCI isn't going to be super small. Really use this card a lot in the Content Creators League. After labbing a bunch of gold cards, I really liked Teoscar Hernandez a lot. He came up big for me when I needed him. I'm a big fan of Teoscar Hernandez. If there's a gold card in a BR round, I'm definitely taking Teoscar. 84 Teoscar Hernandez. There we go. Okay, so which starting pitcher is the most difficult for you to hit off? Let's take a look at the cards that I currently have at the end game here. I go with Prestige Oral Hershiser, Prestige Trevor Bauer, Chris Sale. Like I said, I'm really good with Chris Sale, Jacob deGrom, and Clayton Kershaw, both Prestige as well. I think all those are my favorite starting pitchers, my 5 favorite. I like all these at this point in time. Like I'm very comfortable with any of them. I like all of them being my starting pitcher. There's no like real preference over who I want to start. I do have them listed in the way that I like to use them the most. Hershiser and Bauer are probably my favorite 2 right now. Sale, and then I love using deGrom and I love using Kershaw. As far as answering this question though, I would say probably Prestige, Trevor Bauer. I would say next Oral Hershiser, Prestige, and then at the beginning of the year, it would definitely be Corey Kluber. Corey Kluber was an absolute problem at the beginning of this year. It was by far the most difficult card to hit off of, just because I didn't feel like a lot of the hitting stats for the cards like really could match up with him. You know, like Mickey and Gary Sheffield and Biggio, they all three could, because they're like the collection rewards. But I just felt like it was difficult to match up with Kluber earlier in the year. He's hittable now, you know, with like a lot of these 125s and tons of, you know, stacked lineups. But man, he was dominant at the beginning of the year. Who is your favorite program boss? That's a good question. That's a good question. Let's go back over on the game and take a look at some of the programs. For this year, my favorite program boss, I loved Chipper Jones. I mean, I really like Chipper Jones a lot. I really liked Mo Rivera. I liked Larry Walker a lot too. I thought I was gonna like Maddox a lot more. I did enjoy him for a while. I really like Frank Thomas a lot. I like Clayton Kershaw a lot. I like Kenley, and I like Jimmy Fox a lot. And I like Griffey a lot. I think my favorite, I'm gonna say, let's go back over here. I'm gonna say Chipper Jones. That was probably, honestly, I like Mo Rivera. I'm gonna say Jimmy Fox. I love using Jimmy Fox's card. I'm gonna say Frank Thomas, Clayton Kershaw, and Griffey. Clayton Kershaw, Griffey. Do you use your creative player in ranked seasons? Yes. I actually, there's a lot of people in the community that do not like the creative player. I don't see it ever going away, just because there's that whole equipment side of things, and they want us to use the equipment and the equipment cards. I've always kind of felt like with those sponsorship tie-ins, I don't see how they would get rid of the creative player, especially in Diamond Dynasty. And honestly, I played Road to the Show before I played Diamond Dynasty. I came over from playing a lot of 2K and a lot of Madden and a lot of this, a lot of that. And so I got into Road to the Show first, and then once I saw I could use the equipment that I have for my Road to the Show guy over on Diamond Dynasty, I got into Diamond Dynasty and MLB The Show 15 and never really looked back. So that's kind of how I don't ever really see the creator player going away. I personally, it's kind of like, it's different. I like having the customizable player. I'm trying to build the best team possible. I guess I separate myself a little bit. I'm not very sensitive when it comes to like, I got to use this player on my favorite team. I kind of was more that when I first started playing, but then as I played for a long time, I just want the best team because I know I'm going to be facing a really good team. And I'll do theme teams here and there and have fun with it here and there, and I'll plug different players in here and there. Like I have my a series I did a couple of videos on for like the underdog series, so I'm not completely against that, but I always like having the creator player. I like building them out. I like having the custom swing. I like being able to have like a really stacked player, especially early in the year, like a position of need that can be like a switch hitter. It's pretty, they're not like completely all 99 anymore, kind of like a mid-tier balanced type of card, but they always play like way above their numbers. They're really good. I have one in the bullpen right now, which is real cheesy. I'm gonna admit he's real cheesy, but the thing is, I do kind of like having them in the game, and I just know that I feel like that's like a 50-50 split. I feel like people don't like having them. There's definitely a strong crowd for that. I personally do have them. I personally do use them. Most of the people I'm gonna play above or play against on like a top level, they're gonna have them. So, what is the bronze player item that you always take in BR? That's a good question as well. I personally, though, I'm going to go with Gary Sanchez, actually. I think Gary Sanchez live series. What is your favorite Conquest map? I gotta think about this one. All right, as far as the Conquest maps go, I completed just about all of them. 10th through, like, I did the starter, I did all of the inning ones, I did the Mother's Day, I always did all of them. I like playing Conquest just because it's pretty relaxing and you get a lot of rewards along the way, and sometimes I'll like try out different cards against the computer, that kind of thing, see if I like their swing and stuff like that while getting rewards and practicing a little bit. I mean, you can play like whatever difficulty you want to play on. I'm trying to think of like which one was my favorite. I think the shark map's always super popular because it's got a ton of rewards in it. So the 7th inning shark map was awesome. These are pretty sweet too. I like the affinity ones that they had for each team. I thought that was a good idea. Run it back's pretty nice too because you get that run it backpack at the end. Got the crab, the turkey. I didn't do the turkey yet, and I didn't do this one either. The holidays, I didn't do the New Year one, so I haven't done the last 3 for the 11th inning. I probably should do those. I don't know why I haven't done them. I just haven't done them because I just have at this point I have so many stubs and stuff like that that it's not. I don't really need to get stubs anymore. I'm just kind of like, it's just kind of the point where it's like it's just time to play ranked seasons or something like that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna say like running back. I thought running back was sweet. I'm gonna say running back and the shark. So let's go back here. Let's say running back, and shark map. What is the silver player item you always take in BR? I would say Jake Diekman. I like Jake Diekman, pitching with him. So I probably would go with like one of your silver relievers in there. I mean, there's a lot of good silver talent that you can put in the field as well, especially like, you know, maybe a first baseman. What is the scariest player item for you to pitch against? So basically, who is the best hitter in MLB The Show? 20. Man, that's, I would say, I gotta answer multiple here. I gotta say Corey Seager, Juan Soto, Mike Trout would probably be the scariest ones for me to pitch against. What are some of yours? Those 3 cards really scare me when I'm going against them. Now we have rank favorite player item in the series, 1 being the favorite and 13 being your least favorite. Let's see. I was thinking about this one. This is like really why I wanted to make the video too. When I was looking at this on my phone, it doesn't really fit. This part really doesn't fit that well on your phone. So you kind of gotta, I don't know. I just wish this one was a little bit easier to do on your phone, but here we are on the web browser. Let's see. Tops Now, Future Stars, Live Series, Finest, Faces of the Franchise, Signature Series, Award Series. I would say, let's see, 13 is our least favorite. So number 1 for me is probably the Award Series. I really like the Award Series. I really like the Signature Series. Those are probably my 2 favorite because those are generally the best cards. Let's see, Monthly Prospect, Prime, Players League, Postseason Series, Home Run Derby Series, Faces of the Franchise, Finest. I love the Finest cards too. They're pretty sweet. The Future Stars series and the Prospects. The Future Stars ones I feel like are above the Prospects, correct? I mean, it's just like one of those things where it's like I gotta think about the actual, you know, terminology. Yeah, the Future Stars are above the Prospects. So I do like the Future Stars series a lot because it helps me to know what players are coming up next. Like when we hear a trade for this and that, and it's with Prospects, like I know better. It's made me learn more about baseball. It's made me like look into it more. So I think it's really good. I like that series a lot. Tops Now is pretty sweet. Let's see, Prime series. Prime is pretty sweet too. I mean, that's got like Mantle in it. It's pretty good. Players League, Prime series, Prospects, Postseason. I didn't feel like Postseason was that strong. I gotta go with like monthly awards. I gotta go with monthly awards too. Monthly awards is great. I loved how they did monthly awards this year. I like that a lot. I like the Tops Now too. I mean, Tops Now was pretty stacked, so I like Tops Now. Faces of the Franchise was sweet too. I like Face of the Franchise. I'm gonna go Prime, and then I'm gonna go Face of the Franchise, like right there. Let's see, 1 being your favorite and 13 being your least favorite. I really liked Home Run Derby as well. I liked Home Run Derby a lot. I thought that was awesome. So I'm gonna go with that. Let's see, prospects. Let's see, prospect series, postseason series, and live series. Tops now we got voted for. So what do we have left? What do we have left? We'll just read postseason. Now it's postseason. See, there's two different things. Like, is Corey Seager the postseason? I actually love the postseason ones too, if that's what they're talking about. I wasn't sure if it was like the postseasons that are like lower tier that are kind of like legends. Let's see. What do we have? We have live series, future stars. No, we voted for future stars. What have I not voted for? Postseason we voted for just a second ago. Players League. I think I'm gonna put Players League at the last, just because I don't know. You had to kind of collect Blake Snell. I didn't do it until like way later. We'll put prospects here just because they're like the lower tier version of the better ones. So put those there, and then we'll put live series here. I just don't end up using the live series very much. It's good at the very beginning. It's fun. They're fun in the beginning, but then there's no need for them later on. So with the way that they're currently constituted, if they're not going to be like on that super high level, there's no real, and I don't really know how they could like boost these other cars up. Maybe there's a way they can figure that out, or someone that's smarter than me can figure that out. But that's how I'd rate those. When constructing your Diamond Dynasty rotation, what is the most important element you are looking for? Team affiliation, rotation balance, hitting, control, overall rating, velocity, pitch repertoire, other. I don't know if we can select multiple ones for this. No, we can't. Honestly, you're probably looking for pitch repertoire a lot of the time. Pitch repertoire are probably number one. Then I would say for me, I really like control, and then I also like velo. So all three of those are really important. And then those are the ones that I would be looking for the most. Pitch repertoire, what kind of pitches they have, what kind of motion that they have, also should have been included in this, because that matters to me quite a lot. You know, that matters to me a lot too. Like, is it deceptive and cheesy looking? Is it like not having to pull too far down on the bar to push up to the hoop? Those are the things I really look for too. But I would say out of these, it would be pitch repertoire. So let's go ahead and submit the survey. And there you go. We've submitted our survey. I highly suggest that you submit a survey as well. I really don't see why not. It doesn't take very much time. You don't even have to fill out any information, you know, log in or do anything. I don't think I logged in or anything. I just wham bam, we're done. So go give that survey a try. Feedback, it really matters, so go do that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button before you leave though. I'd really appreciate that. Drop a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, peace out.